So since I have to be in a calorie deficit for weight loss, does that mean that I have to count calories? This one was submitted anonymously on a website, but whoever you are in Pikesville that submitted this question, you hit the nail on the head with it because it's perfect. So the premise is correct. Yes, the only way to lose weight is to be burning more calories than you're consuming. That's it. That's the only scientific must that has to be in your diet. You don't necessarily have to be tracking and measuring your calories though. So the bottom line is there are multiple different paths you can go about to ensure that you're eating less calories than you're burning, right? And that's the bottom line. You just need that factor there. You need to be eating less calories than you're burning. So whether you're tracking it exactly to make sure you're there, or whether you're just focusing on some healthy habits that are going to by default keep you under the amount that you're burning, you just need to get to that number. You need to get less than you're burning. You need to make sure that's the amount that you're consuming throughout the day. As long as you're there, you will lose weight. So this is something like gurus will argue to the death about like, what's the best diet? Or like, should you be tracking calories or should you just be focusing on this habit or that habit? It's stupid. It's a ridiculous conversation because the bottom line is, again, all you need is to be burning more than you're consuming. You need to be making sure that your calories are less than the amount that your body's burning throughout the day. It doesn't matter whether you're focusing on the habits or you're focusing on tracking calories or you're focusing on a specific diet. You need to figure out what works for you. So there is no best diet. There's a best diet for you though, and you got to find that. And so it's going to take some work. It's going to take some fine tuning. It's going to take some trial and error. It's going to take some figuring out, what does my life look like? What are some of the options that I can do in terms of habits or in terms of boundaries or in terms of just specific approaches I can go about that will work for my life, that will not be a stressor, but will help me hit my goals. And the bottom line is, like, fitness has to enhance your life, not consume it, okay? So if you're on a diet that's making you miserable and you're losing weight, you're not going to stick with that. So it's a terrible plan. What you want to be thinking when you start any kind of fitness program or diet or anything is not what can I stick to for the next 3 weeks. You want to think about what can I stick to for the next 10 years, because that's got to be the goal. It's got to be sustainable. You want to get it to a point where fitness is just, it's a way of life, where it's on the back burner. Like, you don't even have to think about it. It just becomes automated. That's where you want to get. Fitness, like for me, I have not tracked my calories in years. I used to, I did originally, and then once I did that, I was able to learn, okay, so this is what 100 calories looks like. This is what 8 ounces of chicken breast looks like. I was able to figure that stuff out, and now I just kind of have habits that I rarely think about my own nutrition because it's really just automated, because I've just nailed down those habits. And it's not because I'm anything special, because I'm a personal trainer. It's just because I went through the same approach that all of our clients go through. You just have to find what works for you. So whether that's tracking calories or whether that's a specific habit, you just got to figure out what works with your life. So 2 examples. One is Carl. Carl, last year, he's a Fit2Go client who, for him, he went the first route. He went with tracking calories. And what he did was, we calculated out his number based on like his height, age, gender, weight, fitness goals, and a bunch of different factors. We calculated out his number was, I believe, 2,200 calories. So we just knew that he'd consume less than 2,200 calories a day, and he would lose weight. So what he wanted to do was, he said, all right, let's try it this way. We gave him the 2 options, tracking or habits, and he said, I want to go with tracking. What he liked about that was that it's basically like you have a budget. So for Carl, he was like, all right, I have a budget of 2,200 calories. I can eat whatever I want. I just have to stay under 2,200 calories. So if he wanted to eat pizza and donuts, cool. He just had to make sure that the total calories for the day was staying under 2,200. And you know what? He did that, and he lost 2 pounds per week for a while. He was consistently losing 2 pounds per week. And I think it's like a 6-month period. I'll show you the graph. He lost like 60 pounds. It was amazing because it was so simple. It worked for him. He was able to have a lot of variety, eat whatever he wanted. And it was just one simple approach he did and nailed it down. And that was last year. So it's been like 6 months since then. And he's still continuing to lose weight. And he's really nailed it down and it's worked with his life. Now, another example, Yakko. Yakko was this year, another Fit2Go client who, for him, he didn't want to have to worry about tracking stuff. Like, yeah, the variety is cool, but he didn't want to worry about always focusing so much on what he was eating. He really wanted it to just be, something that he could just have set and not think about, and he'd just be focusing on his career and his family and stuff like that. So what Yakko did was, we did with him was, he said, all right, well, let's put down some healthy habits. Let's put down some meal guidelines that will work, and we'll still give you some variety, and you'll still enjoy your food, but there's simple guidelines and boundaries you can stick to, and you'll still really enjoy your food in your life. And so he did that, and Yakko lost, I believe he just hit 40 pounds this year. And he started in February. So that's the idea. Like, if Yakov had tried tracking, that might have not worked for him. If Carl had tried going with a certain diet or those guidelines, that might have not worked for him. There is no best diet. You got to find what works for you. Have a good weekend.